Well, let's see what else you need to know for the rest of this semester in Unit 5. It's about plate tectonics. So one of the things related to plate tectonics is this idea of years ago, they looked at, scientists would look at the rocks and understand that the processes that are going on now must have been the processes that have been going on ever since the Earth had solidified. And so if you do that, actually, you're able to kind of go back in time and to understand the history of the Earth. It's so awesome. In contrast to uniformity is this idea of catastrophism. Okay, so what catastrophism would do is basically say you can't anticipate what happened in the past. It was just a series of kind of maybe even random catastrophic events. Okay, so uniformity gets us farther down the road. Diastrophism is actually talking about the deformation that's happening with the Earth's crust, these chunks of lithosphere, these plates that are floating on the liquid or the kind of plastic asthenosphere. So that actually can account for a lot of surface features that we see. So diastrophism, okay, that kind of goes to how are surface features changing on the Earth. And again, at the crux of it is this idea that we have plates of material that are moving. So I have a few terms to talk about, and these would be terms related to actually part 2, I believe. So we talked about how plates can move towards each other, away from each other, against each other, various ways. And they create these stresses on the rocks that make up these plates. Compressive stresses are created when the plates move together. Tensional stresses are created when the plates move apart, and shear stresses are created when the plates move side by side. And we talked about all of those possibilities and all those realities, what's happening with the Earth's plates. With regard to strain, there are a few possibilities. We have the type of strain where it's just totally temporary. It kind of reminds me of a rubber band. You know, put a strain on the rubber band and you let go and relax the rubber band, and it comes back into shape. Another one is type of strain that we see put on Earth's rocks is the kind where it doesn't return, a plastic strain, where you see, we've seen, I think already in part 1, we've seen these kind of folded structures of rocks. Then we have where it breaks. That's called a fracture strain. I mean, to me, I'm like, oh, this all makes sense. See some pictures of some folding here. This is just beautiful. Okay. So you can kind of see the sediments forming. Boy, this is you can kind of get a sense for scale there. You see these layers. This would be the oldest, and this would be the oldest rock, and this would be the youngest rock. And you can kind of see this folding over time. I mean, it takes a long time to create that. But yeah, that is so cool. Oh, the horizontal stresses can create domes would be like this, basins would be like this. We've got a fault here. You can see that here's the fault right here. Some of this went down, some of this went up, and related on whether it went down or up, we have some kind of words, footwall, hanging wall, that go along with that material. Fault, again, I think we talked about in part 1 that it's the plates that are moving opposite each other. And I have far too many slides on different types of faults, so I probably won't even put fault on the exam this semester. So